Alright, boys and girls, how to do the rear caliper and rotor on an 05, 06 F350. First, you take the rear wheels off. As you can see, my daughter's doing it right now. Got Danny backing her up. Danny finished the other side already. And we're going to show you how to do the front rotors and brake. You don't need calipers, right? Alright, you don't need calipers in the front. So we get this wheel off and we'll get back here. Alright, so now you got to take the caliper and the caliper bracket off. And then you got to take those 8 bolts or 10 bolts, or what's that, 8 bolts? 8 bolts off for the axle, and the axle will slide right out. I'll show you. Alright, so we're getting the caliper off. Took the bolts off.
Just like what I told you.
Doesn't matter.
Alright.
How does that matter?
Now she's going to take the bracket off for the caliper. They got new calipers. But they're going to take that bracket off. There's 2 bolts on the back. What size are the bolts?
21.
21.
You gotta get the heat.
Gotta put the heat on it.
Do it because 2 seconds we're gonna be fist fighting.
Uh oh, whoa.
Over my fucking shoulder.
Alright, Danny's gonna step in.
Because he feels like he's not a man.
Alright, so those are real tight, so he's gonna either heat them or he's gonna use the breaker bar. Break it free. Then you'll take those 8 bolts out and the axle slide out. Then you gotta take the bearing off with a special tool that we have right here. That's to take the bearing off. So he's got the breaker and he's got a bar that he calls a cheetah bar. That he's gonna put on it and break the bolts free. You better get him in the back there. Ugh, freaking gut is killing me. Ah, it's tight. Did you heat the other ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to heat these. He's gonna have to use the heater instead of the cheetah. Boys. There's the heater. New handle and everything. Wow. Oh. Alright, so he's gonna just heat the head of the bolt. Get it nice and red, and then we'll break it free with the gun. Use the gun after that, right? Yeah?
The boots are shot.
What's wrong with them? They're worn down?
Yeah, there's no bottom on them.
Tommy boots over here. See? Put the gun on it, broke it free. 1 off, 1 to go. Alright, so the bracket's off. This is what it looks like. Right here. 2 bolts, pads are on there. Now he's gonna take the 8 bolts off the axle. Pull it out.
Can I get the other thing?
It shouldn't leak, it's probably on an angle, I think. Well, we'll see. Yeah, crank them off. You just leave one. those off. The axle should slide right out. Everything on the Ford Super Duty is O-ring, so yeah, see the fluid? You get a little bit of residual fluid in there. That lubricates the bearings. See, he'll jack it up a little bit so the truck will lean the other way and the oil will stop coming out. Take the axle out, grab it by the middle like that. Make sure you don't damage the splines, slipping on the floor. Lean it up against the tree there. Make sure you have a tree to lean the axle against. Make sure you wipe your hands on your girlfriend. Now, that bearing in there is where you use the tool that I showed you. It goes in there, takes the bearing off. When you tighten it down, what was it, 40?
60 foot-pounds.
60 foot-pounds, and then back off 7 clicks. When you're putting it back together, tighten it down, 60 foot-pounds, back off 7 clicks. Don't over-tighten it. You see the clicks? He's taking it off. You can tell a real mechanic when they have that mechanic hat. See that hat? You see that hat on guys all over Brooklyn, Manhattan, everywhere. Mechanics, street mechanics. There you go. Now he'll sit that there, and he'll put all his bearings, nuts, and everything right into the grease there. To the rear axle fluid. Now pull that right out. It should come right off with the bearing. The outer bearing. Be careful with the outer bearing. Yeah, don't lose it there. Check the bearing, wiggle it around. If it's loose, you know, pretty tight. Looks like maybe somebody did it already. That rear rotor is good. But we don't change just one thing. Change it all. He'll put that in there so it don't get dirt in there. Because we're on the gravel driveway. Now you check the brakes.
You need brake cleaner?
Those are the emergency brakes. Take a look at them. They don't look too bad. They're a little paper cracker thin, but
The seal was changed before too.
yeah, they changed the seal. See, I told you somebody was in there. Now you're gonna remove those 8 bolts in there to take the rotor off of
mil.
the hub. 15 mil. He's gonna do that in a second. Yeah.
You got me $50. No, I earned the $50.
I'm a little sick. Plus, yesterday was just the 4th week of my hernia surgery. And the pain is just subsiding, but the whole area is still numb. And I could barely touch the area. I'm just wearing underwear today. I couldn't wear underwear. They were rubbing on my stomach and everything. It was killing me. So let Danny get set up here. Yeah, put everything in there. Protect the bearings and everything from the dirt and the rust and the dust. You don't need the extension, don't you? No. Alright. He's gonna pull those off now. Wow, those weren't tight. Well, the gun is very powerful. What is that gun, the Milwaukee? 700
foot-pounds, yep.
to lock it on, and how much to take off? 1,300? Yeah. Very powerful gun. It's way better than the air impact. So I'll take that one off. They usually come right apart. They're not seized on there. See? Come right off. Put the new one right on. How you doing? Alright, get some tissue to clean that up. Be right back. Alright, so he's gonna put the rotor on there now. And then she's gonna put a line of Loctite on the bolts. You want Loctite on those. Because if you're carrying weight or towing, like they do with that trailer up there, car trailer, everything tight, nice and tight. I got icicles for sale. See those icicles? Anybody want to buy them? Hurry up, get them now. Because the sun is out. As you can see, sun is out. Loctite, put them in there. Those you want as tight as possible. So he'll use that whole 1,300 foot-pounds. Put those bolts on. Yeah, tighten those down with the 1,300 foot-pounds. You need that nice and tight. Alright, now he's gonna pull that out. He's gonna take the cotton out, the bag and everything he put in there.
Make sure your race is in there proper.
He already packed the bearings. You don't have to pack them, but he packed them with a little bit of grease because it's lubricated by the gear oil. Slide it back on there. It's very heavy. Be careful. Get it all the way back there. Now it's on. Now he'll put the front bearing in. Then he'll use the tool to line the nut up. The tool, see the tool has that shaft on it. Goes inside the rear end. See it? And you'll slide that on there like that. Stick the pipe into the rear end. It makes it easier to put the nut on. Okay? It's not easy to get that on, the clicker, by hand.
At the torque wrench.
Here's the torque wrench. He's going to torque it down. And he's going to use the same wrench to back off. Use the long wrench. Don't try to use a small ratchet because you mess the clicks up. You hear it clicking? It's tightening up now, see? There we go. Now he'll back off. Use the same wrench. Just put it in reverse. And he'll back it off 7 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's it. How you doing? Spin it, make sure it does 1 revolution. You'll shake it to make sure it's not loose, wobbling. And now we'll put the axle back in with all the snow on it. You stick it in the hole and then wipe it off. Yeah, it's got an O-ring on it. Show them the O-ring. Make you inspect that O-ring, make sure it's good. And his are good. Wait, gotta get the snow off. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Up, using a dirty rag, use a new rag. Alright, turn it inside out. No snow in the back there, right? Get no water in there. Now put it in, put a little pressure on it, you know, up and down. Got to get it to wobble in there. Because it's got its splines in the rear axle in there. It's got to get them in there. wiggle it a little. Yeah. There you go. First one. Now the second one. There you go. Now he'll just spin the rotor to line the holes up. And those will tighten down with the gun also. Put a little Loctite on those bolts there.
Yeah, take this.
Loctite on the bolts. Run them in. Tighten up the gun. Then I'll put the caliper bracket on. Alright, same thing, crisscross. You tighten them down. Alright, that's it. Now the bracket, she's she lubing it up. The grease on them so they can slide, they don't rust, freeze. And he's gonna put that bracket on, the caliper on. And they bleed it with this tool over here. You don't need this tool. You could pump the brake, have somebody in the truck pump it, hold it, open the valve, and let it come out. Close the valve, let them pump it again. But we got the tool, the vacuum tool. It's a new caliper. Refurbished Ford. That's what you want to use. Just putting the bracket on back there. Can't see it with the pipe there. And I'm tightening with the gun. Caliper bracket.
You got the 1/2 inch, maybe?
Yeah, my truck needs a paint job. I used to paint cars, but I got no way to do it. It's too big. Let's see if I can find somebody to paint it for me. For cheap. My daughter knows how to paint, but we don't have a place. No place to do it. So the bracket's on, brand new bracket. See it back there? Caliper bracket.
Pads right there, the old grease.
Yep. Clean the rotor.
Clean the rotor off. They come pre-greased,
I sprayed it.
pre-oiled, I mean, so they don't rust. I just put brake cleaner on them, get all the grease off. They did the inside before they put it on. Alright, so the pad's got these clips on the ends. I'll show you the clips. See the clips, you gotta put the clips on. And you put a little grease on them so they can slide in and out. These are the good brakes. Motorcraft. Super Duty. Don't put the Advanced Auto Parts ones on there, because that's what I did, and the truck didn't want to stop. I had to take them back off. The washers, copper washers
Is this on the drink?
for the caliper.
Yeah, when you...
One goes in front of the bolt, and one goes in the head of the bolt. always change them. I mean, I've done some vehicles where I didn't change them and it worked out fine, but if it comes with it, change them. Simple. Right, Danny?
Yep. Always change them.
Always change them. Because they're already compressed and everything. They're copper. When you tighten them down, they compress. They form to the shape of everything there. The bolts are in that box there, she said.
Yep.
So he'll mount the caliper, then he'll put the line on, and then bleed it. Then he'll jump on one of the front wheels, and I'll show you that. So throw the caliper back on the way you took it off. So see, he's gonna put the copper on that side, and then he'll put the line, the block, which is the block down there, right there. Then he'll put another copper one underneath it before it goes on to the caliper, and tighten that down. And then bleed it, and you're all done. Like I said, we got the tool to bleed it. Or the other way is have somebody in the truck pump the brakes with the caliper bleeder fitting closed, and then you tell them to hold the brake. When you open up the bleeder fitting, the brake will go to the floor, shoot all the air out, then you close it before they lift the pedal. You close it, let them lift the pedal, pump it again till it gets built up again, open the bleeder valve, shoot the fluid out until you see no more bubbles or air. Then you're bled. But keep in mind, you got to keep checking the reservoir. Excuse me. And the reservoir is right there. Got to keep filling it. In fact, yeah, he's halfway. So let me fill him now. Let's see if I get this open. I'm gonna fill the reservoir.
Yep.
It's bubbling like that because it has a screen in there. Get this nice and full. Try not to spill it because brake fluid eats the paint on the car. So I'll overfill it because he's going to take some out right now when he bleeds it. That's max. I just overfill it because he's going to bleed it all out right now. Okay. Make sure you bleed it with your cap on. Some people do it with the cap off. I never do. It's the wrong way. Leave the cap on. You don't get vapor lock. Whatever that means. Alright, so that's on. Stay tuned. They're going to put the wheels back on. Then we'll take this wheel off and start the front brakes and rotors. So that's what it should look like when it's all together. Nice and new. So you drive it one time and it rains and rust the next day.
Are you ready to bleed it?
Tires on the big one.
And put the steel wheel on first, then you put the aluminum wheel on. Tighten it down. Alright, we're on the front now. And Danny here. See if he got any carrots in his ear. Alright. Taking the front wheel off. Let me show you what has to be done to get this caliper, bracket, and rotor off. We're not changing the calipers on the front. They're fine.
No job too big or too small.
Whoa, you heard what he said. No job too big, no job too small.
Danny, you gotta...
Let him get that wheel off, and then I'll put you back on here.
See how it's all ripped up.
Alright, so this is how you take these off. You get an extension, you go through here, you put it onto your bolt, you take the hub right off.
You stink.
Then you take the breaker, you take the caliper off and the bracket, and you pull the rotor off. It's gonna get on it now. Flip it and sit on it, Danny. Come on. Sit on that, because you got a broke back. If you have a horse, put it under there so you don't smash your legs. Boom. Get that size. What size is that? Get him the tools, man. You need an extension to go through there.
Oh, this is my problem right here.
Yeah, it's your broken hose. What, you're not getting vacuums to the four-wheel drive?
Nope. It's got a lot of hubs.
Yeah, my hubs are locked too. I haven't heard my pump go on though.
You gotta shut them off, because when you're driving, you feel it holds the truck back.
Yeah.
I don't know what you did with all the tools. Where are they?
It's a bigger one. Get the appropriate size. Bigger one, not smaller one. You put a smaller one. You might even be able to get a deep socket on there. I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
I think I took all those off with a wrench, man. But
wow, look at this. The littles. It's been taken off before.
yeah, but that's it though. Now you put that
Let's
on
see
there.
if I can lock it.
These were cut before.
You put that on, then you put the extension through the hole. Short one preferred. Because the gun, loses torque with the big one.
Yep.
And you pop those off. Like so.
Fuck.
Danny Badaducci right here.
No, it's not gonna.
Why? Oh, because of the things. You need a longer one?
Yeah.
You don't have a little longer?
Another short one?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be better. The long
Two
one.
short ones.
But the long one's
Get a
gonna.
long one then.
You're gonna lose. What do you call it?
Torque.
Torque. Yeah. Alright, he's using two short extensions. Take those nuts right off. Alright, let him get all the other ones off. Alright, so you do those. Alright, that's the last one. Then you just take a hammer and you bang it out. It's not gonna come right off. It's never gonna come right off. You gotta take a hammer. You gotta hit the back of it. The other side now. Remember, mine were really tough to get out. It's not like the back. See it freeing up, right?
Yep.
See it opening up. Hold on. Let me take a look at the covers. It's gonna pass the cover, right? Yeah. It's a coming. There it is. Comes off. Now it's just like the back now. Without that on, just like kind of like the back. You take the bracket off.
Here it comes.
Take the rotor off, caliper, throw it to the side, and that'll come right out. Yeah, it's more easier than the back. Alright, he'll sit that right there. Now take the. You probably could just take you can't just turn the wheel and take the two bracket bolts off and then pull it off and slide the new brakes in there. Nah, maybe not. You better take the caliper off. All right, so you're gonna take the two screws off. That one and the one down at the bottom. Take the screws off. Get the C clamp. Push the cylinders in. Waiting for the pizza guy to come. No, maybe you don't have the right address. So both of these trucks are bulletproofed, as you well know if you watch the videos. Mitsubishi radiator, Mitsubishi Mitsubishi intercooler, Sinister diesel pipes, filters, water, gas bottle, and that one's the same thing. The only difference with that one is that we did the whole motor. We did the rings, the bearings, and O-rings on the heads. This one we didn't do that because we later found out that you don't need the O-rings. You just need to use the Ford, genuine Ford head gaskets. So I got beat, he didn't. Okay, what Power Stroke Help says. You don't need the big dog diesel heads. You just need to change the bronze guides in the head. Change them to bronze guides. From the head has the guides for the valves are made out of cast iron with the head. So the guy I go to cuts the guide out, drills it, and presses in a bronze guide. And it takes the heat. The bronze takes the heat away from the valve. The valve is where it burns the head gasket. That little skinny part between the cylinder, each cylinder, heats up with the exhaust valve. So, Danny's getting some tools together. I'll be right back.
Because they were
Break time. Having pizza for lunch. Yeah. See that cord? Good friend of mine saw my video. Frank gave me this. And I've been using it. It's still working. Yeah. Keeps your truck nice and charged. Nice and warm batteries. Thank you, Frankie, babe. Thank you, babe. I just stick it under here. I'm gonna mount it under the hood. I just didn't have time to do it. I had surgery and everything, so I need a little time to do it. Alright. Where are we? Now we're going to take the calipatro out. The calipatro, yeah.
Yo.
Alright, so she took the bracket off. Now the rotor
I brought it.
should come right off. Where's the bracket, man? Show them the bracket. Oh, it's right there. Now they just pull the roller right off. Pull the roller off.
Give me a second.
There you go. How you doing? New rotor goes right on. See me, when I did all this, it says so much work. I changed everything. I changed the bearings. I changed the seals inside. Why?
What are you thinking about this, Danny?
What a big job I did. I did everything on this truck over here. Bad boy run, boy. Bad boy run. Anybody want to buy it? Send me your offers. Send me the offers. What's wrong with it?
Axle seals leaking.
Yeah? Well, you can't do that now. It's a big job, man.
Is it?
That's a big job. You gotta take the bearing out, take all that out, and inside there's a special something that's in there.
It's supposed to be playing like that?
What? In and out? It's like the back. If you take all that off there, the axle slides out, but there's a universal joint in there, right? You see the U-joint?
Yeah.
Is that what loose?
No, in there.
What, in and out? Yeah, it's
Like
supposed.
if you move it.
Yo, if I gotta take that off, might as well change the U-joints.
Yeah, if you had to do all that, you got to do all that. All of it.
Yeah.
I did all of it. I did the U-joints. I did everything. I said, you know what? I never want to come back in here again. I want to get all of this done and not have to do it for another 10 years or something.
Give me the rotor. You gotta make a list of what you need. Rotor.
How many miles on this truck?
220.
220, yeah.
Is that it?
That's a new rotor.
I'll go do the bearings, eh?
Yeah, I did the fronts and the back. I think I got something wrong. Because I hear a... But it could be those knobby ass tires too. Nice, Motorcraft. Motorcraft. Like and subscribe, boys. Like and subscribe. Alright, so it's basically the same thing. I'm gonna put the bracket back on. Put the caliper back on. Put the hub back on the same way you took it off. But I'm gonna keep doing the video because I don't want to stop it in the end. You know, people start complaining, yelling at me. Oh, why you didn't go all the way to the end with the video?
What's the lug nut?
What are these for?
Those are the clips, right? You see?
These
So he's asking me what these are for, as the extras. They might go on the top. Let me see. See there's a paper in there? Paper at the bottom will tell you what those extra clips are for. They might be for different models. Yeah. See, look at that paper. See the paper? Look at it, see? Open your eyes and look at it. See, what's it saying there? Alright, is that clip? Well, what is it? 5A. What does it say it is? 5A. Be back.
There and there.
Okay, that's that one.
What slide is?
5A.
Oh,
Anti-rattle spring if applicable. Right? How do you say it, Minnie? Applicable. And it's not on his old one here, so we're not going to use it. You just discard those. Don't curse on my video. Thank you very much.
This whole thing is all dried up already.
Not like YouTube's paying me for anything anyway. YouTube. So,
as far as that goes.
anti-lock. As far as that goes, anti-lock on the bolts. Anti-lock them back in. We're using the red because we got heavy-duty impact guns to take stuff back off. Those were frozen on there. They had to heat them up to get them off. That's why I stopped recording. I had to go get a torch for her.
Brake cleaner.
Now she put the brakes on, slide them in there, brake cleaner. Yeah, those rotors are kind of nice, man. They have the coating on them.
I need a towel or tissue.
Rotors got a special coating on them so they don't rust. I should wipe that all off to get the, like I told you, the oil off of it. But I don't think there's oil on those. They have a coating. She just wasting time.
No, there's grease from my hands on
Oh,
it.
grease from my hands. Okay. So you don't need to wipe it because look, it's evaporating.
Yeah, but that doesn't come off. I gotta wipe that.
Put the grease on the ends of the brake springs there. You push it in there. Push down and push it in. See, they push the brake back out when the caliper lets loose.
With the other one?
Those springs. Do those have the? No, they don't have it either. See, little grease, bada bing, bada bang, slide a boom. How you doing? She only put the 2 nuts on there just to hold the rotor in place while she gets the caliper and everything lined up. She'll take those off, put the hub on. And these boys can finger flash the like button.
That's gonna be a pain in the ass. That seal.
Why it's leaking? You can see it leaking? Oh, it's hanging in there. Huh?
It's broken.
Yeah, it's dangling in there. That's how mine was. That was a pain, man. To get that seal in there. Holy macaroni. C-clamp over here. Should use an old brake shoe. Somebody bleeding? I see underneath that pliers there. Move the plier.
That
Probably
is
dry lock.
loctite.
Oh, it's dry lock.
Loctite.
Loctite.
Okay,
Put an
dry
old
lock
brake
for
shoe in
basement.
there. And she's gonna put the C-clamp on it.
Because the shoe's heavy.
And shoot the fluid back in. Because you'll never get the new brakes on. You should do the opposite way.
Wow.
You should have
Put a
the...
hole in the ceramic.
No, you should have the thing the other way so you can have it in the middle of the shoe. See what I mean? See how you're on the side there? If you flip the C-clamp the other way, backwards, it'll go in the middle of the shoe.
What do you mean flip
Take it off. Just
backwards?
take it off and spin it around.
Oh, you
Take it
flip
off, spin it around, put it on like that, yeah.
That's a pain in the ass.
Flip the brake
See,
pad,
now you
too.
can be right in the
Oh,
middle of the thing.
it's good now, yeah.
I'm using the brake pad, Danny.
Yeah, I am the teacher. I am the scientist. I am the power stroke help. I have a tattoo on my whole chest. Power stroke 6.0 for life, it says. Ask my favorite subscriber, Pooby, Frank, aka Frankie Babe. Or my brother, Danny, Bass D, 10. He'll tell you. They both been in the power stroke truck.
Why is it so hard?
Dual piston. It's a Brembo, man. What you talking about? Some Brembos on
Yeah,
there.
I call that Brembos.
What car?
This CL.
Danny's car?
Yeah. Front is Brembos.
Got the Brembo brakes on that car. 24 karat gold rims. What's up? Who wants to buy them? Throw the prices at me. Throw the prices at me. Everything's for sale around here. This truck's even for sale. Anybody want to buy it? Send a price. Send a price. I'll tell. You don't need Loctite on those. They're like lugs. I don't know why they're recording. Just keep stopping on this phone. And I gotta hit it again.
Because you want the best
If you have a single wheel, those are nice wheel spaces for it.
Yeah. Well, I've seen guys take these hubs off and put those lugs on the other hub, on the bearing, and put the regular wheel back on this truck. So they don't have the dually front. It looks kind of stupid to me though. Yeah, it looks sunk in.
The guys that they make the 250s into a dually, they don't do
Yeah.
the front.
Yeah, and they put a super single wheel in the back, one big wheel. It's only for the toll, you know, because this truck is Holland Tunnel is $36. If you take all that off, you pay $15. There's guys that take that one wheel off on the outside, put it in the bed of the truck, just to go through a toll, and pay $15. Otherwise, it's $36. I think it's more than that. I think it's $38.
Danny, what
$38.
size is that? Right?
Alright, so we're gonna put all those back in, tighten them down. She's gonna crisscross them. $1,300 foot-pounds. That Milwaukee impact gun. I'm so glad they bought that. I paid electricity bill here. They'll be running that compressor. Big 2-phase compressor we got in the basement. Sucking the life out of my pocket. How much is that gun? $300?
Without the battery, it's like 200. What is going on here?
Alright, so just keep going like she's going there. And then put the tire on. And your brakes are done. Like and subscribe. And girls, like and subscribe. And thanks for watching.